Thank you to Comcast Rise for partnering with Black Enterprise that helped make the Entrepreneur Summit such a success. And now we are ending this summit with a bang. So I'm pretty sure many of you have been networking and connecting, hustling to build your brand while you're here. But once you've got that brand in hand, how do you get it to rocket your business into the stratosphere? So this afternoon, we're talking to two of the hottest women entrepreneurs in the country. And let me say, one is Philly's finest, and one is the queen of LA. So it's a nice West Coast, East Coast mix that I'm excited about. They're going to talk about how they've used their networks, branding smarts, and dedication to their audience to position themselves for unlimited business opportunities. We have Miss Diddy, who is the CEO of the brand group and was one of the first female Black promoters in Hollywood. The brand group clientele includes the National Basketball Players Association, AT&T, Kevin Hart, and the United Nations, Adidas, and Netflix. We also have Milan Rouge, who is the CEO of Milan Di Rouge, and a force to be reckoned with, blazing her way through the fashion industry by making a t-shirt company into a multi-million-dollar size inclusive empire. And our moderator is Black Enterprise's very own Vice President, Deputy Chief Content Officer, Elisa Gums. Please welcome Miss Diddy, Milan Rouge, and Elisa Gums.
Well, hello everyone. Selena gave us a great introduction. It is the last session. It's pouring outside, but we're going to keep the energy going in here, right? And we've got two amazing women who are going to share their stories about how they have built their brands and their businesses. Milan, I want to start with you. You are a fashion designer, an entrepreneur, an influencer, and of course you are from right here in Philly.
Yes.
Hometown girl. How did your passion for fashion start, and what made you want to be an entrepreneur?
I actually started as a hairstylist, and it's a long story. I'm gonna make it short, but I started as a hairstylist, and I was a mediocre hairstylist. People came to me for my advice. So one of my clients, she was leaving, and she was like, "I'm gonna miss your advice," and she was like, "You should start a blog." In 2012, I did not know what a blog was, so I went home and Googled, what is a blog? That night, I started a blog, and I came up with topics for love, dating, fashion, and motivation. And from there, I had gained 100,000 views on my blog in like 3 months. So I was like, I have an audience, I can start selling them something. And I always wanted to create t-shirts with different sayings on it. So I literally started in July. I created the logo, Milan Di Rouge. In December 2012, I had a launch party, and I just went from there.
Yeah. Amazing. It is. We're going to come back to that whole, because that is a hustler mentality for real. You said, wait, I have an audience. I can sell them something. Yeah. I need to make a product. But your luxury streetwear, Milan Di Rouge, is now a multi-million-dollar fashion brand. But you built it grassroots, like selling from the trunk of your car. So how did you get from there to here?
So Instagram helped me a lot. It was really life-changing for me because I was able to see Miss Diddy's, the ladies like Miss Diddy's, the Karen Civils, the Mangleys. I saw them making money and creating a business, and I knew that if they did it, I can do it too. So I would literally just say, I'm selling shirts. Anybody want to meet me? And people would place an order online, and I would just drive all around the tri-state and sell them shirts. And then eventually I got a warehouse, so people would come to me. And I just constantly just kept growing and kept growing. I ended up getting a store on 15th and Spring Garden Street. I knew that I didn't want to work in my store. So I stopped paying myself and I built a team. So March 2016, I wrote my last check, I put it in the Bible, and I focused on growing the team and paying my team. And in March 2017, we made enough money and I had a team. I moved to Los Angeles so I can really grow the brand And just from there, every day, I just work hard.
All right. Miss Diddy, as Selena mentioned, you are the president and CEO of the Brand Group LA, which is a full-service agency focused on marketing, brand management, events for some very high-profile clients. When did you first realize that you had a knack for branding?
Okay, I have to say something really quick. And
Yes.
first of all, I have to say sorry, because something wrong with me in real life. But I have to stop and say this, right? I want to really give honor to Milan Rouge here on her stage in her city, being a hometown girl and being here with her peers and her people and the people that look up to her. And as a girl, you know, I'm from Compton. I'm very proud to be from where I'm from. I know what it takes to give back to your community and to be the person that gives back to your community from your heart, and I've watched her do it her whole career, whether people understand it or not. And I just want to give you your flowers in your city on your stage. So I'm honored to sit here next to you.
We're gonna clap for that.
Seriously.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to make sure I said that. Now, what'd you say now?
When did you realize that you had a knack for branding?
You know, I fell into, no, I'm a woman of God, I'm a woman of faith, and I believe in following God's dream for my life. And while I say that I fell into everything that I pretty much do, because it wasn't like, I want to do that, let me do that. It was more so, God, where am I supposed to go? What am I supposed to do? Where do you want me to show up? And that's how I navigated my life, and I still to this day. But my knack was that, you know, I'm a hometown girl. I'm a girl from the inner city. I'm a girl from the neighborhood. I'm from Compton. Grew up with my friends, tried to figure out life, and I never steered away from that exact thing. So that showed up in everything I did in life. So my knack came from, all right, promoting seemed to be something that was natural because I was the girl that people trust. Yo, you gotta wear Milan Rouge, girl. She popping like, oh, okay, well, Diddy said it, let's go. You know what I'm saying? And so I understood that my words had power from the beginning and that people trust what I say. And so that's really where my knack came from, and just building on that.
You just mentioned promoting. You spent years in the entertainment industry as a promoter. Why did you choose to make the leap into entrepreneurship, and what has that journey been like for you?
Come on, leap. Well, one thing I do want to say is being a promoter is 100% entrepreneurship. And it's one of the most thankless jobs, I think, that people do not understand how hard it is to be, and what you have to do and what you have to go through, how many people you have to deal with, the personalities, the entitlement, all of these different things in order to still keep your business running at a successful level. It depends on what you want to be. Me, I always wanted to be number one is most important to me in being successful at anything that I do. And so, you know, building from that place, that's what took me into the next level. Say, I really got to start my own agency, my own company. I was working with boys. All my guys were promoters. I still love them to this day. But I knew that if I wanted to get the recognition for the real hard work that I was doing, I would need to create something that was mine, and it would need to look like mine, coming from me, for people to identify it as, that's Miss Diddy.
You're both marketing and branding geniuses, and so I want to talk about some of the strategies that have made you guys successful that we can share with everyone out here. Milan, you mentioned earlier that you started as a blogger. Your following that you built on social media allowed you to not just have an audience, but potential customers.
Yes.
Today you have 1.1 million followers on Instagram alone. Talk to us about the power of social media, and specifically about the business opportunities you've gotten as a result of what you've built on social media.
The power of social media, I feel like without social media, I feel like coming from the urban city, right? We only aspire to be what we see, you know? So when I got on Instagram, I come from the bottom of West Philadelphia.
That's right.
So when I got on Instagram, I started to see black women with luxuries, and they got them on their own. So that I was unfamiliar with. So when I saw that they were working hard, and it was like, if they can do it, I can do it too. So the power of social media is really real, because sometimes people look at it and they be intimidated by it, by seeing what other people have. I look at it and say, if she did it, I can do it too. What's stopping me? So I think that and that's why I like showing my journey, From 2012, I never delete any pictures. I have like,
Same.
I probably got like 20,000 photos. But I showed my journey the entire way because I was thinking about the little girl in the hood.
Yeah.
Because I wanted her to see that I did not give up. And when she go back and look at my story, she can see that I was selling out the trunk of my car. I wanted her to be inspired by when she see another black woman succeed, that she can do it too, and not feel like she was my competition.
Yeah.
And I showed that it wasn't as glamorous as most people made it seem, because when I first got into it, I thought it was going to be, oh, cameras and pretty lights, but I'm like, this is hard work. So I think that social media is really important, and if you share your journey and if you learn, so I would say follow 3 people that's in your industry. And my motto is follow the greats and become greater. So like I literally just try to learn like what can they do better, and I try to do better, you know, or what does they do good at, and then I'll just take different techniques and try to apply it to my brand. So I think social media is very important, and just promoting yourself. I think people got into the habit of not being seen starting from the bottom, and they don't want to promote. But I did not care. I always promote. Every single day I'm online, I'm promoting. This is a free platform to promote your services. So I took it as that, and I always showed love to my customers, because without my customers, Milan Di Rouge wouldn't be here. So I'm very grateful for that.
Can you talk about some of the opportunities? Because a lot of people think it's just about getting followers, it's just about getting fame. Like, what are some of the doors that opened up for you because of social media?
I'm on this stage right now because of social media.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Instagram, I would not be here. So many doors have opened up for me. I am a young black multimillionaire. I would not have been that without social media. And if you guys use social media wisely, you can, it's really a tool to success. It's so many resources on there. I learned so much. I'm not just on there for entertainment. It's good to be entertained, but I really take it as a tool, and I learn as much as I can. I follow pages that I can get insight from. I follow people that either make me happy. I don't follow anybody that when I'm scrolling, I gotta feel like, oh, you know, like I follow people that only bring me joy or inspiration. If I'm laying in the bed and I see Miss Diddy post that she just did this, okay, it's time to get up. It's time to hustle. So I really use it as motivation.
Miss Diddy, in your industry, you're known as a relationship builder. And that superpower has made you a go-to person for brand partnerships. You've done partnerships with some of the largest companies in the country, Lincoln, American Airlines, Neiman Marcus. It's a long list. Tell us how relationships have been critical to your success in business.
You know, I come from an era where that is the currency, right? So I started in entertainment over like 15 plus years ago, and I started with a really good group of gentlemen, Kanye West and Don C and John Monopoly and all my Chicago guys, and you know, and these gentlemen showed me, Kenny Burns, that relationships were key, right? And it's really just who I am at my core. Like, I care, you know, and a lot of people are so focused on getting ahead that they're not thinking about just simply caring for someone. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, okay, how's the baby doing? How's everything going? You know, I don't need anything from her. That wasn't the intent, you know? And a lot of people are so, I don't know, man, in this like twilight zone that you forget to be a real person. And there's people that I have incredible relationships with that I've never made money with. And I don't care. What's for me is for me, what's for them, and it's gonna come how it's gonna come. But I just genuinely care about people. And in turn, not basing everything on money and how can we da-da-da-da-da. Some things come around naturally. That's how you stay at the top of mind of people as well. And I say this often, like, people want to do business with people who they like, you know? So I like you. I'm going to call you first for this opportunity. And it could have gone to someone else, but based on the idea that you're just a cool person, you're a good person, and you care, I'm gonna give you the work and you're trustworthy, you know? So relationship building has been the core of the success of my business, not just my business, the success of it. And, you know, it'll continue to be, because we're all humans at the end of the day. We're all going through things. We all have family issues. We all have our issues of the heart. We all have things that are happening that we wish didn't happen, or going through our own personal journeys, our mental health journeys. And so I think if we just kind of care a little bit more for people to the best of our ability, you know, it just goes such a long way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Do you have any advice for entrepreneurs out there who want to be more strategic or become more effective about building relationships?
There's a couple viewpoints I have, about entrepreneurship. One, I don't believe it's for everyone. So I'm not the entrepreneur that preaches down entrepreneurship just because it's looking glamorous. People make it look glamorous, like Milano said. Like, it's very tough. It's hard work. There's a lot of mental anguish that you will go through as an entrepreneur if you want to be successful. So my advice is not everybody become an entrepreneur. My advice is, where much is given, much is required. And if this is something that you want to do, understand that tunnel is very long and is very skinny. And, you know, you'll have to get yourself through a lot of days and a lot of things. So that's but building the relationship to me is just be a genuine person. Like, I love social media, and I'm part from that era. And another part of my era, sometimes I despise what people do as soon as they put a camera up or put a camera in your face. Like, you can't build a relationship like that. There's plenty of times I'm around people and you don't see a quarter of what really happens in my life on social media, because it's about having that moment with that person, you know? So I just think if people learn themselves more and get with themselves more, then they'll be able to navigate better how to build relationships, because it's different for everybody. You know what I mean? It's funny, we were talking about signs in the back. I'm a Leo, and while I'm a lion for real, like, you know, and a lot of that piece of my personality has shown through my work, you know, I'm a huge introvert. Extreme introvert, and a lot of people don't know that, and they don't understand that she a Leo. Come on, Leo Queen. You know, it's like, a lot of times I need to be by myself. I need to be quiet. I need to, you know, be with some water and get with God. And so relationship building is different for everybody, you know, but build the relationship with yourself first.
Yeah. We talked a little bit about leveraging your followers. We talked a little bit about leveraging your network. I want to ask both of you this question about audience, because whether you come at it from a social media perspective or marketing and branding perspective, you have to be able to reach an audience and inspire them to act. So what would you suggest for entrepreneurs to help them better connect with their audiences?
I would say be as authentic as possible, because your audience will find you. So depending on what you want to do, for instance, if you want to cook and you love cooking, I would say turn your passion into a paycheck. But just start promoting your services. Start recording yourself cooking, record yourself eating. Whatever you enjoy naturally, try to be as authentic as possible. I feel like right now, people are so in tune with the story behind the brand. So if you start to tell that story, naturally, people that want to be a part of it, they're going to connect to it. A lot of times when we're building these brands, especially because most of us are the first generation of business owners, especially like being Black, from where we come from, a lot of times we give up because our family and friends don't support us. But when you grow, you'll realize that you'll get support from strangers before your family. And it's not because they don't want to support you.
They don't understand
but honestly, it's not because they don't want to support you, you know? So don't look at it like that, because in the beginning, my mindset was like, oh my gosh, she's not even supporting me and she's supporting other people. But once I shift my mindset, it changed my life. It was that, was I being supportive to her? She's in school for nursing. Am I checking on her? So it's like, we think because we are doing this amazing, great thing that everybody's supposed to be supportive of us. But the same support we want, you got to analyze and see if you're giving it, you know? And a lot of times when you check yourself, you'll realize, oh, I wasn't. So, but getting back to what I was saying is, most people that's going to support you, it won't be friends and family first. It will be strangers. Sometimes your friends and family got to see that other people believe in your product in order for them to want to try it, you know? Imagine how many crazy ideas you came up with before. So, like, it's just a natural thing, and we get so defensive because it's like, we just don't understand business. And the more we grow, the more we'll understand, and we wouldn't take nothing personal. Because my goal in the beginning was, watch when I make it. I know everybody gonna support it. And then God helped me change my mind. Because it was like, I didn't give them your vision. I gave that vision to you, and it's up to you to show them your vision. So thank you. So I would say, like, first really figure out what it is that make you happy and what you would do without being paid for it. And once you figure that out, look and Google different ways you can make money from it, you know? Because even if your goal is to just be the best mother you can be, I am a person that just had a baby. I want to learn from mom. So create a YouTube channel that teaches different strategies on different techniques on how to be a better parent. You can make money from YouTube. It's money in everything, you know? So just try to figure out how you can turn your hustle and your passion into a paycheck.
Precisely.
I'm all for precisely. Do you have any suggestions for connecting with an audience?
Connecting with an audience, I 100% agree with everything that Milan Rouge said. I think that people become so focused on trying to figure out the audience versus just doing a thing. You know, for me, for myself in my career, especially being the only woman promoter in Hollywood for so many years, it's only men, I had an advantage because I didn't have to look to the left and the right. I was just doing my thing. Like literally just like this, let me just do my thing. And I built my business around that same type of concept. Like, just do what we doing. Just let's do what we doing. Because a lot of times, for me in my career, I become a trailblazer in a lot of things. I was able to get in great spaces early on. And so I didn't have the luxury of being like, oh, that's done that way. So I just did what was good for me, and then they come. Like I say, if you build it, they'll come, right? Like, so connecting with your audience, just exactly what you're saying, just be who you are, and don't worry about the analytics, the numbers. That's me. I'm not a big like analytics girl, numbers. I'm a cultural girl. You can't, this is what I do, this is who I am. I am really this person. I'm really from the hood. I'm really built my business brick by brick. I really took some losses that most people probably could never bounce back from. I may never discuss them. I may discuss some. You know what I'm saying? So just do what you're doing, and then who's supposed to come and supposed to be involved or whatever, they'll come. Some of them will be lessons. Some of them will be assets. Some of them will be liabilities. Strengthen your discernment in who you are as a person so that when all that all comes, you're able to navigate it.
You've both talked about authenticity, and for both of you, your personal and professional brands are really intertwined because you are synonymous with your business.
Sure.
It's your actual lifestyle. Sure. So how do you create balance, or maybe boundaries is a better word there, about how much of yourself you're going to share? Because I know a lot of women find it overwhelming to constantly be branding themselves.
Girl, let me get in here on this real quick.
That's what SistersInc is about. We want the real talk.
Girl,
please.
You know what? You know, COVID did a lot of things for a lot of people in different ways, right? Everyone learned something different or something more about themselves, and whatever the case may be during COVID, during the pandemic, and all things like that. Everybody still be safe. Try to put your mask on. But for me, what it did was it allowed me to understand what boundaries meant. And a lot of times when you're young and you're from the hood and your first generation things, and you want to get up, you want to help everybody, you think that's old. That actually isn't old. What's old is how well you take care of yourself first. That's why it says, you know, when your cup runneth over, that's when you give, not before. And a lot of times we are giving so much from a place of depletion, you know, and then we're wondering why we're drained and why we're tired, why we're resentful, why we're mad, why we're brokenhearted. Because
you can't pour from an empty cup.
You can't pour, and the cup be low, you know. And so, you know, for me, it's like I learned boundaries, and I learned that I was supposed to have boundaries. I didn't even know it was okay to have them. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. I was like, oh, I can have these? Oh, right, I can, you know? And I say that because I learned that in the pandemic. My company has been blessed and fortunate to be able to have, you know, we do about 50, 60 events a year. And that's just event-wise. That's not even all the other work that I did. And the slowing down for me was incredible because I needed to step and say, hold on. What am I doing? How much of this am I doing? And how much of it am I doing for who? Hold on now. You know, and I had to put those boundaries around my life and start to be better to myself. Like I recently was saying how I didn't learn to be gentle to myself into these last coming years. You know, I didn't have the luxury to do it. I was trying to survive. I was hustling and getting to it and working and hustling in a good way, you know. And a lot of times when we have these shots at life success and the life that we really dreamed and want, you don't even want to stop while you're seeing the light of it, right? So you're like, let me keep going. But for me, I needed to be like, skirt, put them boundaries up. No, I can't do that. I can't do that for you neither. Because I had to learn that I'm no one's God. And I can't save the world. I need to save me first. And then I'll be able to do more for everyone. So I put the boundaries up, y'all.
Milan, how do you figure out like where to draw the line between where the person ends and the brand begins?
I always say that I don't mind being transparent, but I don't want to be naked. So I like to give what I want to give. I feel like I do things from the heart. I'm a genuine person. I don't want to be controlled to do different things because then it's not authentic to me. I am a giving person. My mom raised me to be a giving person, so I give naturally. That way I don't feel like I was used because I genuinely wanted to do something. So that is how I've always drawn my boundaries. I'm a Taurus. Shirley, I'm a Taurus. So I always been like a person that is like very upfront, very straightforward, and like tell me exactly what you want and I can tell you if I can help you. That's how I feel. Because I don't like small talk. I don't want to play around. So it's like, what do you want? How can I help you? And if I can help you, I'm going to help you. Because I want to see everyone win. If I can help you win, I'm going to help you. If it's going to take away from some of the things that I got going on, then I can't pour from an empty cup.
That's what I had to learn, though.
Yeah.
It took a long time.
And I had to make sacrifices. So like even growing Milan Di Rouge, before I had my brand, I was always around my family. Like I'm a family person. In order to grow Milano, I had to make sacrifices. I lost friends. I couldn't go to all of the parties. I couldn't go to vacations. I had to save up and build my baby up. And it was, when I moved from my family, it was a sacrifice. Everything takes a sacrifice if you really want something bad enough. But ultimately, it led me to here. And now I can go back to get my family. So sometimes you do got to make a sacrifice. Sometimes it's all about figuring out really your vision and focusing on the vision and not letting nobody stop there, you know, or deter you from there. So.
Can I say something to what, even in the last part you said, because it's interesting, we're even saying like Leo and Taurus, because Tauruses are like that. Like, I'm not about to let anyone take me away from the vision. But what I also want to encourage people is sometimes you'll talk yourself out of your vision because it's a little too big for you to understand or to believe or to feel safe about. And what I will say and what I do want to encourage you to understand is that not everything is safe, you know, and most of this is not safe or what we understand to be safe, right? Or what we were taught to be safe. And you have to figure out what your own thing is. And you have to push your boundaries. That's how you stay on track. You got to push those boundaries to that. I mean, if I think I can only run a mile, I actually need to run 5 miles to figure out how hard I really can go. You know what I'm saying? And so I do want to encourage everyone, like sometimes when you're talking yourself out of that vision, because your mind is your hardest thing to tame, you know? Being mentally strong is very tough to do. And so just keep going because there's glory and beauty right beyond that point.
Yeah. So SistersInc isn't just a session that we do at our events. It's also a bi-weekly podcast. And if you haven't heard it, you can check it out on blackenterprise.com. But in the intro, I say that on every episode, we sit down with one successful CEO and talk about how she slays the challenges of being a Black woman in business. One of those challenges is not being taken seriously. And I know that that is even worse for younger women, for attractive women, and for women with celebrity connections. So how have you both experienced that, and how have you counteracted people not taking you seriously in business?
I've experienced it from the beginning, especially in 2012 when I first started. It was a male-dominated industry. I'm sure it still is, but everybody I work with, from the photographers, the videographers, the graphic designers, the people that printed my shirts, everybody was a male. And I was a young, attractive, naive girl because I did not know like certain things. Everything I learned, I was learning as I go. So I was asking certain questions, and I can tell the look back on their face that they were trying to take advantage of me. But I am a young woman that respect myself, so I won't let no one disrespect me. So I always came with that approach, was like, I don't mind asking a question because I feel like no question is stupid, but you want to respect me, you know? And when I'm working with people, is like, I don't want no handouts. I worked hard from the moment I started, and I worked every single day, even when I gave birth. So I don't want no handouts. You want to respect me. And it been times when I went into rooms and I know that they underestimated me, but I don't mind being underestimated, you know? My track record, my sales, my company, it speaks for itself. It's been so many times when I walked into a room and I saw the look on their face until I opened my mouth, and they saw and they heard that I knew exactly what I was talking about. And that's when they gave me the respect. So you did that. I don't want to say a certain situation, but after I left, they called me back to speak at the school because they wanted me to teach the program Entrepreneurship. But when I first came in, they just looked at me like, I just saw it on their face, you know? But I'm used to that. So I don't mind being an underdog. That's why I know as a black woman, I gotta work twice as hard. And that's why I do it. Because then it's gonna open up a door for the next generation to get through easily.
Yeah. I know you experienced that.
Okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna say something that is gonna rub people some ways, and it's just what it is, right? What I understand and what I learned as a woman is this. Men don't have the ability to look at us as equals. Only, not because we're not capable, we're not amazing people, all of these things. It's because they're men, they're natural born men. And that gender, that trust me, plays a part in the thing. Doesn't mean they don't appreciate us and respect us like this, but I don't believe that they have the innate ability to view us as equals. So what we have to understand as women is sometimes the system, it's kind of what it is. So what you do is just do your thing, right? What I learned, like, I'm known off of the work as well. So all I could do is do my work. And however you perceive it, view it, look at it, all that, I don't have anything to do with that, because if I obsess over that, that's gonna control my whole entire life. And as a woman and as a person that is self-taught, just like Milan Di Rouge, like, you know, and being a young girl from the inner city and being the first in I have some great success in my family, but being the first of my kind and my family and my generation, things of that nature, I can't worry about everything else outside of me. That'll drive me insane. Also, when I used to be a hothead, like, turn, like.
You?
What? Right, she was funny. I was a hothead, like, I'm not dealing with no disrespect under any level anyway, so I had so much energy. As soon as I walk in with that, I worked in the male-dominated industry, just saying I'm a promoter, I'm in a, like, I already got a energy about me, so I wasn't playing none of that at all, you know, and I had to learn to calm that down as well, because it was taking over, it was terrible. But, you know, what I do know as a woman is you just gotta do your thing, and everything will fall where it's supposed to fall. There's people I haven't worked with because they don't, you know, understand it. And like, I remember I was, this production company has always come to me about television shows and things of that nature. So I was negotiating a deal, and it was when Black Panthers had came out, when it had came out, and it's when they did $1 billion. I was so turned up. in the next meeting, right after they did $1 billion, and they was playing that whole like you a little black girl type of like look. I went in there, turned. I did everything but hop on the table. Like, bro, we just did $1 billion. All black cat. What we talking about? You know? And you just gotta know what you know. You know, this is our culture. This is what we eat, breathe, and sleep. This is who we are. And this is what these companies and these brands and these people have built based off of who we are as a people. You gotta hold that close, near and dear, and walk in and just kill it.
So earlier we spoke about building relationships. Yesterday during one of our sessions, Zakiya Blaine, who's the founder of FBF Body, spoke about how after she became a millionaire, she was intentional about making friends with and surrounding herself with other black women millionaires. Oh. Because as black women, we need a support system of other black women who can understand where we are. How did each of you go about building your professional tribe?
You want me to go?
Oh, that's a great question.
So in 2018, I created the Womenaire Club.
Yes, you did.
And I created this club because I felt like being my only friend that has a business, it was hard to ask your friends for advice because they didn't understand the problems and situations that I go through as a businesswoman. So just by the different things I was facing, I wanted to create a club for different women that we can share resources, we can call each other and ask questions, whereas it would take us months to figure out the answer, and someone that already been through it can just answer the phone and say, hey, all you gotta do is this. So just creating that club, it was something that I needed. And not only did I need it for the resources, I needed it because I was the one that everyone came to with their problems. Because I was the breadwinner. And when everybody comes to you with your problems, you don't have no one to even tell your problems to. So with this club, I created a club where we have a retreat once a year. And when we have this retreat, we have a therapist come. Because a lot of black bosses, we don't have nobody to talk our problems to. So, and sometimes we don't even want to go to a therapist. So I had a therapist come to us, and we did 30-minute segments together, and then we did individual segments. I seen women that was so strong and powerful leaving out these rooms in tears, coming out and just giving us hugs because they needed it. We have a chef cooking us 3 meals a day, a nutritionist, we have yoga. It's just a work, and we have a workshop. So it's just something that I felt that I needed, and I wanted to create something that I needed. And it's a beautiful club, and I encourage them to do their own retreats. I'm not the type of person that say, oh, because I created this, I want to be the only one. No, we need more of this. I told them, when y'all leave, go to y'all towns and create it. And I've seen about 4 different women that was a part of our club create their own subdivisions, and it's a beautiful thing to see.
Beautiful.
That is.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Do you want to talk about how you built your girl boss group?
I think it's ever evolving, and I say evolving because it's not changing. It's more so sometimes you connect with a new sister and you say, we're like-minded in ways, right? And you continue to build that. And that's the beauty of this business and being able to meet so many incredible people, and I'm so grateful for that. I was fortunate to grow up with a group of friends that we all stayed friends since we were children into adulthood, and some things happen differently in our friendships, and because we're all grown now to women, and we all have different ideologies now and things like that. But the core of us has kept us together. So I was very fortunate with that, and I still work in my hometown, you know what I mean? But as I evolved in business, you know, it was hard for me to trust because all I knew was my friends I grew up with. So as you continue in this business, what is not discussed is how much you will stop trusting people. It's a real thing because things happen, you know, and things happen that you would never imagine. Friends betray you, people betray you, business deals go awry and things like that. And it's tough, you know what I'm saying? So I just build as I kind of go along, and if I feel that person, you know, has a genuine connection and cool, like we connected years ago. We don't have to see each other every day, you know, but the respect is there, top, you know, the love and the support is there, and that's the most important thing. So sometimes you see sisters and you build with them. It doesn't mean that you have to see them every day or you got to talk every single day, but to know, I know she's looking at my work and she knows I'm looking at her work, and sometimes that's strong enough to be like, all right, but I know she's looking at, it's, you know, our little heart faces or emojis or something like that. It's like, all right, boom, she proud of that. That matters, you know? So I think it's ever evolving for me. And I'm grateful for the women that I have already connected with in my professional career.
We're going to take some questions from the audience, so if you guys want to start lining up to ask questions. While they're getting there, I'm going to ask you both.
Don't y'all be shy.
Events like this are...
We don't bite. We don't bite, y'all.
Events like this are so important because we can come together and learn from each other's successes, but we can also learn from our struggles and our setbacks. Oof. So what do you know now that you wish you knew when you were starting?
Jesus.
So much.
God.
It's so much I know now that I wish I knew when I was starting. But what I can say is I thank God for all of the setbacks because it made me realize that I truly wanted this. Had I not experienced those setbacks, I probably would have just thought everything come easy. And when you think everything come easy, easy come, easy go. So I've experienced so many setbacks. So many struggles, you know, and it's even right now I'm successful and I go through struggles every single day. It's phone calls every single day, text messages, but I don't look at it as struggles. I look at it as another obstacle that I get the privilege to overcome. Because obstacles are meant to be overcome. If you look at it and you let it defy you, then that's how you're going to approach it. So your whole energy is going to be shifted. Because I could be sitting up here with the news I got earlier and be like,
absolutely.
No, I don't look at it like that. God gave me a full plate because that's what I asked for, and I'm going to treat it as such, you know? So I thank God for every lesson and every blessing.
He's still working on me, y'all. He's still working on me. Say the question again.
What do you know now that you wish you knew?
You know what? Man, this is going to be surprising too. I used to be a really nice, sweet girl, right? I still am at the core of me. But I would tell myself earlier on that it's okay to be shrewd in business. Not to a point that not anything that is against anyone else, but it's okay to be tough in business. And it's okay to protect yourself in business. And it's okay, and you should not take things personally. You know, for me, because relationship building was at the core of my business and at the core of who I was, it also was tough because I got taken advantage of a lot in business. I was a girl, knew everybody. I had all the, you know, I'm here, I'm there, I know such. So it's easy. Diddy, we need that. I'm like, okay, cool, like, you know, whatever, because that was my heart. So if I knew, I would put boundaries up earlier, and I would learn to be a bit more shrewd so that I can focus in on what I need to do.
Okay. Our first question.
Hi, how y'all doing?
Hi.
My name is Malaysia. I am the curator of a series of unique creative events called Almost Famous. Milano, I actually interned for your company my junior year of college as a graphic designer, so it was nice to finally meet you. I never got to meet you.
Thank you.
My question is, as a creative, I know that we probably have about 1,000 new ideas a day. How do you guys navigate through those ideas and prioritize those ideas? Like, I know that some might not necessarily be profitable or for your business, and I know that you probably put a lot of focus, most of your focus, into your business, but how do you prioritize that and balance that?
Well, nice to finally meet you. Thank you so much for being a part of the growth of our company.
Of course.
I would say, yeah, we get 1,000 ideas, right? But what idea is giving you the most passion? Which idea is making you feel alive again? Because you got so many ideas, and sometimes we focus on the idea that's going to bring money. But if you're not really passionate about it, you're going to probably throw that idea out the window. So figure out the idea that's giving you that passion and that's giving you that spunk and that's just making you feel alive, and just focus on that, you know? And you can still write down all of your ideas, because I've been literally checking off my to-do list from 2015. So it's just write them down and date them and then just go back to them. But right now, prioritize the ones that you feel is going to just make your soul come back alive, you know?
Okay, thank you.
I want to tap in on that too. I totally agree with everything. Also, congratulations on being an intern for
Thank you.
her company. It's something to be honored and respected when you are able to work, you know, in the beginning of your career for a company like her. But one thing you'll know is as you grow your business, whatever business this may be, and as you grow yourself, you'll change. So sometimes you're in a place in your business where you want to do exactly what's passionate for your business. Sometimes you're in a place in your business where it's all about the money, and that's okay too. Sometimes you're in a place in your business where you're doing nothing and you're retracting things and you're figuring out things. Sometimes you're in a place in your business where you're just being creative. Sometimes you're just being strategic. Just figure out where you are. You know what I mean? And honor that place. Because sometimes in my business, I'm only talking about money. I'm not talking about nothing else. Don't come to me about nothing. I'm talking about big money. So sometimes I'm in a place in my life where I'm like, you know what? All I'm doing is community work right now. I ain't doing nothing else. I don't care what type of money comes my way. So it just depends on where you are. So get closer to yourself and honor what place you're in.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for that question. And I have to thank these women. We are unfortunately out of time to talk with them. I know already, but they have been amazing, sharing all the things that they have learned as they've been building these super successful businesses. So thank you, Milano. Thank you, Miss Diddy. Everyone, please join me in thanking them.
Thank you. Dang, we ran out of time. We sorry.